The law of religion. In a world of science, markets, and empires, where do gods still fit in? Chapter 12 of Sapiens. A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari takes us on a journey through the rise, reign, and remarkable endurance of religion. But this isn't just about gods or rituals. It's about power, unity, and belief systems that have shaped entire civilizations. Welcome to the 12th episode of our Sapiens series. Today, we're diving into how religion became one of humanity's most enduring and powerful inventions. To understand religion, Harari suggests we must move beyond the narrow definitions of gods, churches, and prayers. Instead, he defines religion as a system of human norms and values that is founded on a belief in a superhuman order. But what does that mean exactly? Religion, in this broader sense, doesn't necessarily require a deity. It could be belief in a cosmic order, in natural laws, or in universal human rights. All of these are systems people follow with the conviction that they regrounded in something greater than just individual or societal whim. So yes, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism are religions. But so is communism, nationalism, and even capitalism under this expanded definition. They are all grounded in ideas that claim universal validity and often justify themselves by appealing to a superhuman, eternal, or sacred foundation. This is how religion can govern entire societies, not just spiritually, but socially and politically. If religion is essentially a shared belief in a higher order, then its true power lies in uniting people. One of Harari's central arguments is that cooperation is what propelled Homo sapiens to dominance. But cooperation on a mass scale? That requires belief, specifically shared belief. Religion gave humanity the ability to create and maintain complex societies. It told us we are part of something bigger, that there are sacred rules we must obey, that justice, morality, and order are grounded in something more than just our personal opinion. Shared mythology gave empires legitimacy and endurance. Kings ruled by divine right. Wars were waged in the name of gods, and laws were framed as sacred obligations, not human inventions. Religion, then, wasn't just belief, it was infrastructure, societal scaffolding, the glue that held together the fragile experiment of mass civilization. Today, we often think of monotheism, belief in one god, as the apex of religious evolution. But Harari challenges this assumption. For much of human history, polytheism was the norm. Ancient Mesopotamians, Greeks, Romans, Indians all believed in multiple gods, each overseeing a different domain: war, harvest, love, fertility. What made polytheism unique wasn't just the number of gods, it was its inherent tolerance. Polytheists were generally open to incorporating new gods and beliefs. If one group worshipped a storm god and another a sun god, no problem, just add the new deity to the pantheon. This flexibility allowed different cultures to coexist, adapt, and blend, and it gave polytheistic religions surprising resilience. Yet, this system eventually gave way to monotheism, not necessarily because it was more logical, but because it was more politically useful. Monotheism, with its one God, one truth, and one correct way, provided the ideological backbone for empires seeking central control. With the rise of monotheism came a radical transformation in religious thinking. Religions like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam introduced the concept of a single all-powerful deity who demanded exclusive devotion. There were no more rival gods to consider, only one truth, one law, one divine command. On one hand, this was powerful. It created highly unified religious communities, moral codes, and identities. On the other, it led to deep divisions. Monotheism was far less tolerant of other beliefs. If your God is the only God, then everyone else is simply wrong. This set the stage for religious wars, inquisitions, and centuries of conflict. Harari points out the irony here. Polytheistic societies often allowed religious pluralism. Monotheistic ones, by contrast, sought uniformity and punished those who deviated. Still, monotheism offered something emotionally powerful, the promise of cosmic justice. A God who watched over the world, cared about human actions, and would one day right all wrongs. That idea of justice, meaning, and accountability gave people comfort in uncertain times. Today, religion seems to be in retreat, at least in the West. science, rationality, and secular values have taken center stage. But Harari argues that secularism itself is a kind of religion. It also rests on a set of sacred principles: the value of human life, individual freedom, and universal human rights. These aren't facts of nature, they're beliefs. They rely on shared moral convictions that are neither scientifically provable nor objectively self-evident. And just like ancient religions, secular ideologies can inspire both greatness and horror. They can drive progress or justify atrocities. Communism, liberalism, nationalism, all are, in a sense, modern-day religions. They offer meaning, identity, and a sense of purpose. They provide rituals, symbols, and heroes. And most importantly, they demand faith in an order that transcends the individual. So perhaps religion hasn't disappeared. It has only evolved. As we look to the future, with AI, biotechnology, and global crises reshaping our world, the question isn't whether religion will survive. The question is, what will we choose to believe next? Because belief is not optional. Humans are storytelling creatures. We need narratives to live by, whether divine, scientific, or secular. The gods may change, the temples may crumble. But the need for meaning, for order, and for a superhuman truth, that stays with us. We didn't domesticate religion, it domesticated us. If you found this episode thought-provoking, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Join us next week as we dive into Chapter 13, where Harari explores the rise of humanism and the new modern creeds shaping our world. Until then, keep questioning, keep learning, and remember, our stories shape our reality.